Hello.
Hi there.
Bob, I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at your email today.
I just saw it, so I will send it to you
Thank
as soon
you,
as we
Ed.
get this
Just-
underway.
Thanks. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey there. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Here's by the wall again.
Yep.
Let me see what's behind me tonight. Oh, yeah. That'll do.
That's Bathing Beach, right?
That is Bathing
Bathing
Beach,
Beach.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, an inverse of Bathing Beach for some reason, but
It's so funny when you walk away and you look like you're this tall. The whole background thing is so weird.
yeah, but right now this room is kind of a mess. My office is right next to the, like the service entrance of the house. So it's the natural staging place for
Oh.
incoming and outgoing.
Judy, what's the ship behind in your?
That's
Yeah.
that's the Constitution.
Oh, it's the Constitution. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I like that.
17th
and 17th.
No one has asked me, but the painting on my wall.
Far
I don't
back?
know. Yeah, that is the Mount Baldy, which is the 10,000-foot mountain that was behind the town I grew up in Southern California.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard to see from here. It's only like
Yeah,
this size.
But it's very beautiful. There's actually a ski area up there because it has snow all the time, even though it's in Southern California, because it's 10,000 feet.
Oh,
Mount Baldy.
Wow.
Mount Baldy, it's called.
Wow, cool.
So are you a very good skier, Barbara?
Oh, 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 I don't understand how you can pay people, much less they pay, to get on a slippery slope.
It's funny because I grew up in northern Vermont and I can't ski either.
Oh, thank you. Good. I needed to hear that.
There's nothing good about being out in the cold. I mean, nothing.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Yeah, I used to be a skier. I got bad
used to
knees
be
and
a
bad
skier.
feet.
That's really funny.
We used to drive up to the mountain and we would we would do sledding on garbage can lids, but we would make a big snowball and you'd bring it back in your car and you'd put it in the freezer. And when kids came over to your house, because we never had snow, I never saw snow falling until I came out here. And then you would bring kids to your house like to play, right? And you would show them the snowball in the freezer. Big deal. That was it for snow. I think that was just plenty.
okay.
Ooh.
No, I don't know. I'm a lapsed skier myself.
Oh,
Failed skier myself.
Deborah, did you ski?
Friends didn't. It was a big humiliation to me to be unable to ski, to be stuck at the top of a mountain and not know how to get down.
Oh,
Ice
fine.
and
That only occurred to me in Jackson Hole, and a ski guide got me down. One of those guides. He was marvelous.
Did he have a big barrel under his neck?
No, it was an expert slope. I was out of my way. I was just gone berserk. But
barrel now.
I wouldn't attempt it again in a million years.
How did he find you? Did you have to?
He was sweeping the slopes to make sure everybody was off.
Oh, gee.
Wow.
Yes. I used to work at a ski area, and I recall once you, at the end of the night, you would ride the ski lift down if you were working at the top of the mountain. I was riding the ski lift down and they turned it off. And then they turned
Nice.
off all the lights. And it was
Oh,
like,
wow.
holy shit. Now what?
How did you get down?
Similar to Bill, there was a ski patrol person making the final sweep. And
You
But you were
screamed.
up there on the lift.
yeah, well, he skied down to the bottom and made them turn it on again until I got.
Wow.
But there was a few moments there where you were thinking about, well,
Well,
how cold is it going to get tonight?
That happened in Park City. The one place we were going from one part of the ski resort to another part, and this goes horizontally for a long distance. And it was like, and the winds were going and the ski lift stopped.
Oh,
And we
Wow.
were there.
we're
Without a
Wow.
book.
all right.
Skiing on
Enough.
Thursday, by the way.
Yeah.
So, at Killington's still open, and so isn't JP.
Really?
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, like skiable open.
Yes.
wow.
So if you were going to ski there, would you take your good skis or would you take the trash skis?
Your rocks, you take your rock skis.
Yeah, probably the rock skis, but they're still grooming it every night.
Wow.
Oh,
Always Zowie. Okay, anyway, it is what, 7:05, and we have a quorum reading in Zoom order: Bob Vanderslice, Barbara Beatty, Judy Zahora, Julie Tarmy, Dana Sheehan, Deborah Warren, Dan McMacken, DeWitt Brown, and Peter Barba. Peter, you're last for some reason.
Last but best.
and
We
humble.
agree.
And humble.
And we are also joined by Allison and Nick I'm gonna put
Papagias.
Papagias.
Papagelis.
Nick, can you help us? Oh, he's not.
Nick Papagelis.
Okay, thank you.
You're
So the meeting of the Finance Committee is in order. Allison, thank you for joining us on your holiday.
Ah,
No problem. I'm here.
I was actually questioning whether we could legally have the meeting tonight.
why?
I think it's
Because
fine.
today is Patriots Day.
State holiday.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is a state
Yeah.
holiday.
It's actually not a state holiday. It's a city of Boston holiday.
Suffolk County.
Suffolk County, yeah.
Oh,
So we're in
we-
Essex County, so we're good.
You're okay.
So we should be okay.
We don't have a
We need-
holiday.
All right, minutes.
Yes, we have minutes from April 6th. Did everybody get them?
Yep.
Yes.
I
Yep.
move,
Yes, thank you.
I move that we approve them.
Well, hold on
I'll
before
second.
we go with that motion. Can I add something to the minutes?
Yes, on the 6th.
Yeah, and please correct me if I don't have this right, but in the one application for the purchase of 9 Little Nahant Road
Yes,
was withdrawn due to complicated situation.
that was the quote. Yep.
That's right. And Lynn Spencer also said that they're still working on it, and we may see this. She predicted we will see this again.
May see it in the future,
Right.
but not necessarily for this town meeting, correct?
Yeah, it's just what you said. I mean,
Okay, I can add that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
That was it for me.
Then can we
Okay,
take a second?
approve, I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended.
Thank you,
And I'll second that.
thank you. So, let's do a roll call. Beatty,
I,
Zahora,
Abstain.
okay. Barba,
Aye.
Warren, Was that an aye, Deborah?
Oh, sorry, aye, yeah.
Thank you. Vanderslice,
I,
McMacken,
Aye.
Brown,
Abstain.
and Sheehan.
Aye.
All right. And Tarmy, aye. So that's 7 ayes, 2 abstains. All right, so then we have, the second set is from the 13th.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes of the 13th of April.
And
I second that.
All right, Beatty,
Aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Barba,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
I,
McMacken,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Tarmy, aye. That's unanimous. Thank you.
excellent.
you.
So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
we move on. Where is Zoom in this? I'm about to share my screen. Screen two. So what we want to do tonight is get through as many of these articles as possible with a vote. Well, it is certainly a discussion and a vote, I guess would be a better way to say it. Now, clearly, we can't do the omnibus. And Allison, our transfer, well, we'll just deal with them in order, all right? The most recent copy of the warrant that I have, or that I've been able to find, is this draft of 317. Is there a more recent one?
April 6th.
April
I have
6th.
one of 4-4.
April 6th.
And that's in the Dropbox?
It's in the Dropbox. It's part of the budget book. I forget
I
what.
actually have another update, but it's really, they're minor adjustments to some of the language in the CPC articles that wouldn't really affect any of your voting, I don't think. So I will upload a more updated draft with that language. But if you go by the 4-6 one, you'll be good.
All right. Is that tab 8?
Tab 8, yes.
Okay.
All right, what tab am I looking for articles?
8.
8.
Eight.
Tab 8. Find the damn thing. Okay. Got the book.
Allison, on the CPC articles, are they final at this point, or is there still some room to give feedback to CPC and make any minor changes?
Yeah, B.
CPC.
5D.
I think in Lynn's mind, they're pretty much final, but you could
Right.
probably go back with some changes if you wanted. Again, I do have some changes that I think they met last Thursday. So she had sent me some right after that meeting. So I do have that to share with you. So you don't even have the updated language. I can put that in the
Tab 2.
Dropbox.
What the hell?
Do we have a meeting on Wednesday? Maybe we could do the CPC on Wednesday.
Well,
Agreed.
we have a meeting tomorrow night as well, correct?
No.
We have one scheduled.
We
Right.
have one scheduled.
We have one scheduled if we feel we need it.
Yeah, but
Right.
we don't have one posted because I forgot about the holiday today.
Oh,
So
So, well,
we
you
we
would've
have, we
posted.
we will have Wednesday and Thursday should we need it.
Okay.
all right. Because I know that Tony had said that they'd like to have these by Wednesday, so.
I think Tony, and I thought Tony would be on tonight too. I'm sorry that he's not. I tried to text him, but I do
got
think
it.
he wants the selectmen to vote on like a final draft of the warrant in their meeting this Wednesday. So yes, everything should be final, but I can upload the latest CPC, draft
Right.
by tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right, so here's kind of what we got. We have a copy of last year's warrant with our recommendation. So if we want to refer to what happened last year and what we wrote last year, we have that available to us. We have our handy dandy tracker sheet here, and somewhere we have,
Oh, that's pretty.
I don't know where
We have Mesa Verde.
it looks like Mesa Verde, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And then draft of 4-6. So we also have a copy of this year's warrant if we want to see the exact wording.
So for this year, as far as Article 1, the transfers, actually Article 1 and 2. So last year, there was no recommendation from the FinCom because at the time the book went into print, they had not finalized. Have we finalized this year so that we have a recommendation?
Perfect question.
No, it's not final. I do have one that will fall under Article 1. It's to transfer from the general fund Conservation Commission revenues from the general fund into the revolving fund. And it's in the amount of $7,664. So that'll fall under Article 1.
Yeah.
But we may have additional transfers that are not finalized at this time, because I like to wait until we get a little bit closer to town meeting. So I have an idea of where spending is in all of the appropriated accounts. So I don't have a final at this time.
All right,
And
so
Peter,
as
what
far as-
usually happens is on the day of town meeting, we get any last updates. We usually meet just before town meeting.
Yep.
And at that point, we will be given any figures that need to be put in there.
all right, so for Article 1, we have the verbiage for Article 1, and we will essentially have no recommendation at this time. So that can be pretty much cut and paste.
Yep, that's a cut and paste.
All right, so Article 2 is snow and ice, and I'm only speaking because these were mine.
Yeah.
Will we have any information on snow and ice?
Maybe not until
Not until town meetings. It's going to be the
Okay.
same there. Mhm.
Okay, all right, cool.
So that can be a cut and paste as well. You
Mhm.
probably want to update that number with last year's number. But so, and Article 3, prior year's bills, is kind of the same drill,
Right.
unless Allison.
No, I actually I have 2 bills in hand that are prior year bills that'll need to be approved under this article. One is under the assessor's office. And it's for $185.30. And one is for the Memorial Day account in the amount of $500. So those are both for invoices that came in after the start of this fiscal year that were for last year expenses.
I can support those.
Yep. Are there going to be any others?
If there should not be.
Okay.
I received these last fall, so I've been holding them until this town meeting. So there really should not be anything else.
So it's 185 and then 500 for Memorial Day.
Mhm.
185.30.
30, yep.
Can we get
Okay.
the hard copy of that, and maybe when we meet on the CPC articles, quickly approve that? And we include the amounts.
Could we not approve it now, knowing what they are?
Right. Do you need are you
So-
looking for?
I think just for housekeeping, we should have a motion and a vote both on 1, 2, and 3. Based on the conversation, the motion for 1 and 2 would be no recommendation pending the numbers as town meeting gets closer. And on number 3, it sounds like it would be to recommend the two bills.
All right,
All right, I
so
make that motion, make a motion for 1 and 2, or do you need that individual?
Individual.
I make a
Individual.
motion that we follow through with 1 for the recommendation.
I second that.
All right. Let me get you up on a roll call here.
Katie, I.
Brown,
Barbara,
aye.
It's gonna be a long night if we
McMacken,
can't get
aye.
in a rhythm here, guys.
I was trying to get the whole screen up so I could just do the roll call, but I can't do that. So Tarmy, I.
Barbara, aye.
Lauren, I.
Okay, Barbara, Warren, McMacken,
McMacken, aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zohora.
So, aye.
Do we need to hear from Brown?
Yep, aye.
Okay. And Vanderslice,
Aye.
and that's unanimous.
Why don't you ask if anybody dissents? It's maybe faster.
Has to be a roll call vote.
Oh,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a roll call vote.
We could try to go alphabetical.
Yeah,
I like what Julie calling it out, because then we can get through. it.
yeah, and I tried to do that, but I couldn't call the screen up, but I will do that. I will do that for the next
Thank
one.
you.
So,
All right, I'll make a motion that we have no recommendation for Article 2, snow and ice, until we get closer to town meeting and collect those numbers.
I'll
second.
that. Okay. Roll call, Barbara,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zohora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
I.
Charmy, I. Did I miss anybody?
Brown, aye.
Oh, thank you, Brown. Okay, so that's unanimous.
All right, so Article 3, before we vote, I just wanted to put that out there that I'd like to see it in more complete form, and if we can vote on it tomorrow, not tomorrow, but I guess Wednesday, we quickly take care of it there. Comments?
I'm
What do
not
you
opposed
need-
to it. I mean, the amounts were little. I'm not opposed to just recommending it now.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
what are
think
you
we need-
seconding? Do it.
Yeah,
You're
we have to do the
you're
one at a
the-
time.
There's no motion there.
Yeah, Dana.
Yeah, but I
Dana-
set and you second your feelings.
Oh, okay.
I
Thank you.
agree with you.
I third
Well,
those feelings.
We can't vote on the feeling. This is starting to sound like a 60s rock song or
I
something.
know. All right.
Well,
can't stop
we need either a motion or
I make a motion that we recommend Article 3 to transfer $185. I'm sorry, to pay the prior year bills of $185.30 and an additional bill of $500 from
But-
the Memorial Day. And
Second.
Second.
Okay. Any more discussion on that?
Once it's been seconded, we can't have a discussion. going through.
Okay.
That's over.
Barbara,
aye.
Vanderslice,
aye.
Sheehan,
No,
Zohora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
I.
Brown,
Aye.
Charmy, I. So
Hey.
that,
Point of order.
yes,
Did Dana just say that after a motion's been seconded, there's no discussion?
Yeah,
we
that's
can
not,
discuss
till after the vote.
after the
According to Robert
vote,
Rules of Order.
right?
Oh,
But
correct.
after the,
correct.
yeah, after the vote, but
Okay,
after the motion, we can still.
after the motion,
All
I
right.
mean, technically, you're not
Motion,
supposed to
like-
have a discussion, I believe, until you have a motion on the floor.
Right.
right. All right,
Right. The
Okay, so
question
then-
has to be called ostensibly.
right. Okay.
So
That stops debate.
So that's 8 ayes and 1 no on Article 3.
Okay, so Article 4 is the salary and classification plan. And that is, it's in the Dropbox, and I'm just looking for the right tab number. There we go. This one. So the way this one works is blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, we typically recommend it, and what we are recommending is the salary and classification plan, which is all this stuff. And Allison, help me, I believe this to be current and correct.
Yep, so this is
Yep.
current. It shows ranges for the salaries. However, the omnibus, in the appropriation in each of the salary lines, that's the actual salary for FY23. The reason why there's ranges here is if somebody were to leave and we were to hire somebody new, we would have to hire within these ranges. There's also some part-time staff there that you're on right now. So those are their ranges, and that includes the increase to minimum wage on January 1st next year. And then it goes into the salary scales for all the collective bargaining agreements. So those are laid out for you there.
Yeah, and
as
this
we just say
is
police and fire.
right. And what's in here is the existing contract, not the one that's
Correct.
being negotiated right now.
So yeah, for the school. So the ones for DPW, police and fire, those are the third year of the current contract. That's
Right.
what we're going into for FY23.
Yep.
For the teachers, that is currently being negotiated. My understanding is the negotiations have finished. It just hasn't been ratified by the school committee yet. So what I did for that is I just took what the current year's salaries are.
Okay.
So, and will it be ratified prior to town meeting?
That I'm not sure. I emailed the superintendent a few days ago. I'm not sure when it's going before town meeting. I think he's hoping that it will. And if it is, we'll certainly make you aware of that.
Yeah.
So
and
do we,
that's- Go ahead, Peter.
sorry, Bob, I was just gonna say, do we hold off on this one in hopes of getting the teacher's salary in here so that we don't have to make changes?
No, because by the time it's ratified, we won't have time. It'll be at the printers.
Yeah, exactly. I
And
think what we want to do is just make sure we disclose that this is the existing contract. And right now it's disclosed with this asterisk down here.
Yeah, and we did the same thing last year as well. And it's been done like that in previous years.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but just so everyone is clear, the only thing we're really, or the town meeting is voting on is the salary and classification plan itself, which is just this section, one, I think is what it's called, number 1. And what we've done is in this recommendation, we've included the disclosure and discussion of all of salaries and wages together, just because it seemed like a good way to do it, so that you can have context on what their various departments are earning all in one spot. So it's kind of a long recommendation. The only thing, again, that anybody's voting on is this section 1, the salary and classification plan. And typically the motion refers to the salary and classification plan on page thus and such of the finance committee book. So we don't read this whole darn thing. We just refer to it in the motion.
Even
And
read that first page.
excuse me?
We don't even read the first page that has salary and classification plan. That page there, does that get read?
No, the article will be I don't know, I'm kind of making this up, but I move that the town approve the salary and classification plan for the fiscal year beginning, blah, 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 as found on page 22 and 23 of the Finance Committee booklet, or something like that will be the actual motion that gets read.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and there's a whole record. I'm looking at the 2021 warrant book, and there's a whole, that whole first section is, the town has to take 2 steps. They set the rate of pay and then authorize the expenditures.
Yeah, this is the recommendation that would,
Right.
am I looking at last year's, or this is this year's? Yeah. So this is what would appear in the book as our recommendation. So we talk about the salary and classification plan. We talk about the union contracts. We talk about any negotiated agreements. So that's like Tony, the superintendent, and folks like that. I think, we talk about health insurance as well in there. Because we wanted to get the disclosure in there and the discussion in there, and this was just a good way to do it. So,
So before we accept a motion on this, if you scroll to the top, Bob, this states that it's Article 1, but it's actually Article 4.
No, but Julie, that means it's Article 1 of this plan. See at the top how it says Article 1? It is confusing.
Right, okay.
Because then there's an Article 2 on this plan that you're voting on in the next article in the warrant. So.
And that's compensation for elected officials?
Correct, yeah. So that would be like the town clerk and the selectmen.
Usually a separate article.
It is.
It is, but we include it at the bottom of the classification plan as well.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we vote to recommend the salary and classification plan.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
It's really not, I'm a little confused because it's not complete, so I'm going to abstain.
it just, okay.
Okay.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Charmy, aye. So that's 8 ayes, 1 abstain.
Okay, so moving right along, compensation for elected officials. No, wrong thing, sorry. This really, Julie, I think you're right. That should say Article 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be Article 4. And then the next one.
So
is
then,
Article
wait,
5.
Bob, before you go too far, can you scroll up a little?
Yeah, then you want to change it
Then
on
you
that
want to
page.
change number 1, where it says this article, that should say 4.
Where are you?
Down under rate setting mechanism, number 1, go across,
Yep, right there. Okay.
and then
And
number
down
4.
here, this should say Article 5 down here. Yeah,
Okay.
Correct.
okay.
Good God.
Yes, Bill, I know. What
Yeah.
a tangled web we weave. And I think I said that at a previous meeting and I attributed it to Shakespeare, and it's not.
Who does the quote go to?
Sir Walter Scott,
All right.
you know, the famous Arctic split, never mind.
Moving right
Guy who
along.
died.
So this
Yeah.
should say Article 5.
So
compensation.
this should say, yeah, this should say Article 5. And I think we're okay in the rest of it. So, I mean, this one's pretty simple.
Recommend. I move to recommend Article 5.
I'll second that.
Second.
Too late, Dan.
Okay. All right, Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Charmy, aye. That's unanimous.
Okay. So, Article 6 is the omnibus, the budget. Let's, wait, let me do my housekeeping here. Okay, good. So this we typically don't vote on until town meeting gets closer, unless Allison promises nothing's gonna
Yeah.
change, and we probably won't believe her anyway.
So let's not.
So let's not, exactly, let's not.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with waiting a little bit.
Yeah, good. I thought so. Okay, water and sewer enterprise. So. Wait, what am I looking for here?
Article 6.
Article 6, to see if the town.
No, that's omnibus. We're deferring that. We want
Yep,
7.
I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry,
sorry,
Article
7.
7. Yep,
Thank you.
Article 7, you're right. And this is another one where there's typically
Actually, a chart that goes with this.
yeah, there's exactly, there's like a financial statement of the
Right.
enterprise fund.
No, it was recommended last year.
And it was recommended last year.
Those are the numbers from last year.
Right. This is exactly, this is last year. Again, so Allison, do we have these?
You do. It's part of the omnibus for the underwater and sewer. I'm happy to provide it to you in this format. I can have that ready for you on Wednesday night if you want to vote then.
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
I'd like to do that.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so
will
we're gonna-
now.
Hi, everyone.
Is that Tony?
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
all right, so we're gonna hold on that one. Water and sewer paving, Article 8.
It's usually boilerplate.
This is usually boilerplate. So last year it was $30,000 for paving throughout the town. It's boilerplate. This year we're asking for $30,000.
It's the same exact amount.
It's exactly
Same
the
thing, yeah.
same. So,
It's a
What-
duplicate.
well, it's a year later, but yes. So what is your pleasure on this one? I can't make motions, so I have to.
Oh, I recommend to, yeah.
Recommended.
And I second that recommendation.
Is there any information on this? Could it change? I mean, I
No,
don't think the same.
no. We're allowed to overspend this account? Is this the one?
No.
No, that's the
No,
no.
that's
the
what, that's,
That's no.
snow and ice.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is just to appropriate $30,000 from retained earnings in the water and sewer enterprise into a capital fund that we have set aside for paving. And the recommendation is going to stay at 30,000 unless you guys suggest otherwise.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with 30K.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Warren, I'm sorry, Warren,
Can't hear me. Aye.
sorry, McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. So that's unanimous.
That's Article 8.
8. Okay. Article 9, Rubbish Enterprise Fund is similar to the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund, which I believe it has typically has a financial statement in it.
So I'll pull that together in this format as well for you for Wednesday.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you.
Moving on to 10.
Moving on to 10, Bill.
Compost.
Sorry, I'm not going fast enough for you.
That's a
So
good
on a-
thing.
No, you're going fast enough for me, Bob, because I'm writing things down, so.
I know.
On the
Sorry.
composting, is that the same as the paving? It's the same
Yeah,
every
so the
year?
recommendation here is to appropriate $60,000 from rubbish retained earnings for the compost area. In the current fiscal year, it was 50,000, so this is 10,000 more.
And that money is coming from?
Retained earnings in the rubbish enterprise.
Cool. Okay.
Mhm.
Can we
I'll
get an
make a
update
motion.
Similar to the, hold on, can we get an update similar to the rubbish enterprise and the financial into this?
Oh, yep, I promised that for Wednesday too, yes.
So
Are you-
maybe we defer?
No, wait. Dana, are you asking for financials for the compost area? Are you talking about 9 or 10?
10,
10.
number 10, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm asking, yeah.
I don't know that I've ever
Yeah.
seen financials for just the compost area.
No, there isn't.
Well, it is going up.
Are you asking about?
last year.
Yes,
How
yeah,
much
we
is-
did
how
find
much is
just the
in the retained-
compost.
Are you asking how much is in the retained earnings? And how much will be there after we take the 50?
If we go back to the rubbish enterprise, it's similar to that and the water and sewer enterprise where,
Yeah, so I think you're speaking on Article 9, Dana.
right,
You want to see what's appropriate for salaries and operations and,
right, just the high level description of the $60,000, transfer of funds.
You can. Are you, sorry,
It's in
Dana,
it now.
sorry, Dana, you're asking what is the $50,000 going to be used for?
No, just there's more of a descriptive that we're holding a couple of these other articles for a financial descriptive of what's going on there.
Would that be in the recommendation?
Before,
We've never done that on the compost before. We've never had a
Tony.
chart.
Tony, can you tell us what the $50,000 or $60,000 does in the compost area? Is that to haul it away somewhere?
Yeah, exactly. So we've been basically trying to, there's a lot of leftover material in there for many years now. So we've been, taking big bites out of it every single year, larger than we have in the past. And we're getting pretty close. So that 50 will go to, removing a lot of material and then also continuous removal throughout the year as more material comes in.
It's 60, not 50.
yeah, it's 60 for this year for FY '23.
Okay,
But we
Tony, what's
spent
the
50 last year.
We did.
I think we did 50 last year.
And the
Trucking,
50 the year before. So how come
yeah,
it's more?
trucking, anything that goes on a truck has gotten more expensive this year.
What do we have in retained earnings for enterprise fund? I mean, for the trash, trash and
Do you
recycling.
have that balance, Allison? That's what I thought Dana was asking was how much is in the retained earnings?
Yeah, so we have, it's $101,000 And then we're proposing to use 60,000 for this purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if people are comfortable with voting it as is, I was just thinking more along the lines of where it's coming from. And if it's coming from the 101,000 in retained earnings, I guess it's mentioned there, but not the amounts. That's kind of what I was looking for, but anyway.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $60,000 cost for the compost area, that we recommend the 60,000 for compost area.
I'll second it.
Okay, Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. That's unanimous.
Okay. So this one is recommended. The next one, recreation revolving, is it's just authorizing that we continue the revolving accounts. Really,
Right.
it's not authorizing the expenditure necessarily of anything. It's just here. Let's look at the words.
Yeah, and so this article is just specific to the recreation revolving fund because that comes under a separate Massachusetts law.
Yep. So this is pretty much boilerplate from last year.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we recommend the keeping the recreation revolving
Second
account.
it.
I'll second it.
Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
I don't know why you're not hearing me. Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. Sorry,
Okay.
Deborah.
No, it's me. There's something wrong with my thing here. It's just not loud enough.
All right, the Article 12 has got spending limits in it, right? This is the one with spending, fix the maximum amount that may be spent for the revolving funds. And there's typically,
This one, yeah, this is something that has to be done every year. You have to set the limit.
Yep.
And in speaking with Allison, the limit would be based on revenues that have come into the account, but a number that was suggested as a limit was 20,000 for each account.
Yeah,
But
so
that's-
these would be specifically for, there's a cemetery revolving account.
Right.
There's the COA revolving account, and then what you're showing is the article from last year that established 2 new accounts. So it
Right.
would be to set limits for these as well.
okay, so what? So we're not seeing these tables because those were new.
Right, and actually, so last year we didn't include this article for the COA revolving in the cemetery account, and I had gone back and forth with general counsel on that. I think it's clearer if we do include it as part of the warrant, just so it appeases the COA and the cemetery department. There was a lot of confusion about this last year, but basically just to authorize them to be able to spend through these revolving funds. They can't spend unless they take the revenue in.
So should I mention I was going to mention the committees in our recommendation, or otherwise you'd have to change the article verbiage and only the Board of Selectmen can do that. I can list the committees in my recommendation.
Yeah, yes. And
And then
I'm assuming the way this will work is the motion that will be read will have an amount or amounts in it.
Correct. Yes, the motion will have the amounts in it.
Okay.
Is that something we should wait till Thursday for?
I can give that to,
yeah.
if you want me, I can draft something for you again for Wednesday.
But, well, the
Yeah,
motions
let's-
we don't usually get until we meet with Dave Conlon, the moderator.
The amounts are the same as the amounts that you saw in the older warrant.
They don't change from year to year?
No,
Was that 20,000?
I think it's 20 and 10.
Yeah, and the fact with municipal modernization, those amounts can be changed during the fiscal year by a vote. I think it's of the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen.
So should we include this chart?
That chart, where does that chart come from? That's a very good chart.
That was from last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, it's not clear about the part you said about the revenue. You said, we talk about, the article talks about the maximum amount. but it
Right,
would be-
right. The general laws state that it has to come from revenue.
Oh,
That's
okay.
part of the chapter 4.
Yeah, so these aren't appropriated funds like the omnibus. Each of these, they're revenue generating accounts. So they take in revenue and those departments can only spend the revenue once that's taken in. So it's not something that, you know, we're appropriating general fund money for. It's a separate account. These are each separate account from the general fund.
Right, I understand that, but I'm wondering if it would clarify things to talk about. It says maximum amount and that may be spent. What you said about it depending on the revenue, which to me is not clear. It's probably clear to everybody else, but I'm just wondering if something could be in the
In the motion?
no, in the recommendation.
I was going to put it in my recommendation.
Oh, you were, okay, that
Yeah.
answers my problem.
Okay. As
Okay.
part of the recommendation for the article, Julie?
Yes,
Yeah, and I mean, I'd appreciate that too, as well as listing out the committees, boards, et cetera.
Yep.
Yes,
So we'll wait till
I've done
Wednesday
that.
to vote on this one?
I think so. Unless someone else says it. I'll move that we accept this Article 12 as written, and I will put in the necessary verbiage in the recommendation.
No, we're not holding it for Wednesday.
Now we're gonna vote for it.
I would like to wait until we see what the
Oh.
verbiage is in the recommendation.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'd like to hear about it.
So hold.
Okay. OPEB, health insurance for retirees. I always forget what OPEB actually stands for.
Other
Other-
post-employment benefits.
Benefits. Okay, got it.
You might want to put that in your recommendation to explain to people.
It's right there in the article.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in last year's recommendation, which I believe I can just take as boilerplate, because this is mine, it does spell out what, oh, it does it even in the article, right? The only question I had, if I just did a cut and paste here, is the last sentence there, the numbers, Allison. Are they the same, 25,000?
So it's a $25,000 appropriation, but the balance is not the same. Let me get that
Right.
for you.
Right, that's what I was, okay, so.
Yep.
Okay. So I will just need the balance.
Yeah, I'll have to get that from our latest OPEB
Okay.
report. Yep.
Okay.
So we'll hold on that,
Oh,
or can we vote it?
I don't know.
Because the balance isn't going in the article, right?
Right, exactly. The balance is not going in the article. So what,
I mean-
what we're voting on is the article itself, that we want to fund $25,000 into other post-employment benefits.
That seems safe to recommend to me.
All
And
right. Is that your recommendation?
we need a motion.
I'll move that we recommend
I'll
Article,
second that.
Second,
Okay.
Article
Barbara?
13.
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Charmy, aye, unanimous.
Okay, next, stabilization. Again, this has become routine, thankfully. Tony's shaking his head. And well, let's look at this year. Where are we? Stabilization. We're saying the article is calling for $250,000 into the stabilization fund, which is more than last year. The last year was $125,000 into the stabilization fund.
But we've already had discussion on this.
We have.
I mean, the one thing I'd like to add is the how much is in there now?
Well, that's in our recommendation. And again,
Yeah, so let me get that for you, because there has been interest building in that account, so I'll get that for you for Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I'm writing this one. Do we want to include that the state recommends that stabilization funds be 10% of town budgets? And then people are going to want to know what percent this would bring us to, the new 250. Obviously, it will raise the amount.
It'll,
He told us
if
that that's
passed, if passed, this will bring us to like 699,000, just right about 700 grand, which is about 5%.
So do you want to include the percentage or not? Do you think people will worry about that and it's not?
I wouldn't include.
We can be terse.
If you
don't
wanted to
have
put it in if in the recommendation, you mean, I guess if you're in favor of it, you know, a positive comment would be that, you know, passage of this article will bring us, you know, halfway to our goal,
State
which is
recommendation.
recommended by 10% by the state.
Okay, I'll write something like that up.
Can we get a source on that? I mean, I know the source is Tony Barletta, but.
Yeah, I think if I think it's in the it's definitely under Division of Local Services. I think it was in the
Right.
2015 report.
Yes,
To the
it is.
town, but it's probably on their website
I
somewhere.
can get it. I know where it is. I'll send it.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is article.
So are we,
okay. So does anyone want to make a motion on this?
I'll make a
that
motion. Well, go ahead, Julie.
Yep, I'll make the motion to recommend Article 14 stabilization.
Second that.
Okay,
Can I just ask for a friendly amendment to include that it's 250,000?
that should be in, that's in the article.
Okay, all right, just, I'm new to the,
Yeah,
you know,
no.
It's
that's
there.
fine. Yep,
It's
Okay.
Article 14, it's written up that way.
okay, all right,
Okay, Barba,
aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Sheehan votes aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
McMacken, aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Charmy, aye. That's unanimous.
Okay, paving is another routine article. So $100,000 for paving throughout the town.
Oh, boy.
Is that what we're gonna be staying with, 100?
Yes, that's what the town's recommending, and we're recommending that come from free cash.
And it was 100 last year as well. Does the
I
article
recommend-
itself say free cash?
The motion will say free cash.
Free cash.
Right.
Mhm.
So our recommendation then should say free cash too.
Right, but I'll just copy that recommendation from last year.
Yep, exactly.
So I
But
move that we go with that.
It does leave the possibility, sorry, I don't know if I stepped on anybody there, apologize, but this could be paid for by borrowing as well, so the article says transfer from available funds or raised by borrowing a sum of $100,000.
So every article, that language is kind of boilerplate for all these funding articles where it calls out all the different potential sources, but then the motion is very specific. So the motion for this one will say specifically 100,000 from free cash.
Right.
And we would never be allowed to borrow for that because of the language of the motion. We'd have to take it from free cash.
So the motion is developed at the town meeting?
We usually have those for you the meeting prior to town meeting with the moderator and the Board of Selectmen.
We're provided a script.
Right.
No, we
Okay.
write it.
No, the motions are provided for us.
Right.
We
Yeah.
write the recommendations.
We write the
I
recommendations.
don't know who writes the motions. Is it
It
council
comes
that
from
writes them?
moderator, I think, or council.
Tony and I draft
yeah.
them, and then council reviews.
The motion elves write the,
Ah,
Just one more question, though. On Article 14, it doesn't say to borrow for the stabilization. Which of course makes
I
sense.
think that's
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it doesn't say borrowing there, other
it
than
would not make sense to
not be
borrow
able-
to put.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can borrow to put into a stabilization fund.
That would be unstable.
Right.
It would.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't imagine any bond underwriter
Hmm.
going for that one. It's like, I have a bridge in Brooklyn.
There is a bridge in Brooklyn, several.
And it's not for sale.
Yeah,
Oh, there are some for sale.
everything is for sale.
That's right.
Just to throw it out there, could we take out raised by borrowing for the paving?
no,
I don't think you
I
want
don't think so.
I think the reason we put those in there is because, on town meeting floor, you never know if things are gonna change and you need to make a change as to what your source is gonna be in order to accomplish any given article. So, the motion that we will have will be to use free cash for this. I would leave all sources in the article for now.
Yeah, and we can't touch the article itself.
Well,
But
it's not final yet, so.
But we can't touch it. It would have to be the Board of Selectmen.
of selectmen, yeah. I mean, what we may be able to do is whoever makes the motion to vote on this article tonight, you could say, I move that we recommend this subject to it coming from free cash or something like that. And then the language of our recommendation would have to reflect that as well.
Sounds good to me, Bob.
We could do
So
that.
moved.
Second,
moved.
I had made a recommendation
you
to take
had.
it like this. Thank you. So we can't make a recommendation on top of that.
No, you have to make a
so
friendly
what-
amendment.
Yep.
Oh, so how are you planning to amend it?
Just
Friendly amendment to that our motion says that the money comes from free cash, that our recommendation says that the money comes from free cash.
Yeah, that was the plan. Okay, I'm good with that. Then in that case, I'm happy with that amendment.
All right, so we have a motion and a second, and a motion that's been a friendly amendment that has been accepted. So I guess, Julie, you need to.
Roll call. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Ian votes aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken, aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. Unanimous.
Okay, that's 15.
Okay, 16, release funds from transportation networks, and it's mine, and I will plead ignorance on this one.
So this is that one, it's for $590.20. And it's for, we get a portion of the revenues for the ride share rides that come into Nahant. They
Oh,
get
yeah.
appropriated back to the cities and towns. So that's the amount that will come back to Nahant. So we have to vote this at town meeting in order to be able to use it for anything. And the town would use it likely for paving or some type of DPW project. It has to be road related.
So what are we doing here? To vote, the town will vote to appropriate or transfer $590.20 from this reserve. It never says where it's going to go.
It's basically, you're just authorizing the town to spend it.
Suspend it, and it's just it's going to pop into the general fund.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it has to be spent. So should the recommendation say that it needs to be spent for a paving project or a road project?
Or a transportation project.
Yeah.
What are the words? What are the words the recommendation needs to say?
Enhancement.
Allison, what are the?
So I can get to exact language. We actually have to fill out a form and submit it back to the state. So I can pick up the language from that form and give it to you.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Again, what's the committee's pleasure? Do you want to vote this as is, or?
Yeah, I would say so, because what you're looking for is what's going to, the language to go in your recommendation.
Yep.
So I
I make a motion to approve Article 16.
Second that.
okay. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. Unanimous.
Okay. Community preservation. This is the long one with lots of subparts.
Oh, we're gonna take this one Wednesday.
You want to hold it?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we gotta get all the information because they're not done yet.
I have a question. Is CPC Article 17 or is it Article 22, which
It
is
is Article 22.
It's, yeah, your numbering here is
17.
what's in the warrant. Yeah.
Okay, so what's 17?
17 is the sewer
17 is
infrastructure.
sewer infrastructure.
Okay,
Oh.
all right. So, well, either way, we're going to hold community preservation for Wednesday's meeting,
Okay,
irrespective of whether it's Article 17 or 22.
right, okay.
The old 18, the new 17 is sewer infrastructure. And sewer infrastructure, I think, is another. This is last year's that you're looking at.
Mhm.
Is this a Somebody help me out here. There's the
A
community.
number has been adjusted since last year at least. The appropriation number.
Did it come before CPC last year?
No, I think it came after.
All right.
Oh my gosh, there's that one.
What's this one? The
Sewer infrastructure.
Water bylaw amendment, police bylaw, sidewalks. I don't see it just scrolling through here.
Do Control F and try to find it.
What are we looking for again?
Sewer
Sewer
infrastructure.
infrastructure.
I didn't even see it in here.
I have it down in Article 18 in my copy of the warrant.
All right, so
From
let's,
last year?
No, that was
Changed to
police department.
17. It was 18, now changed to 17, or the other
Yep.
way around.
Utilization.
oh, this was
Oh,
the.
there
20
wasn't,
Sorry.
is this borrowing? Is this the borrowing?
Yeah, this is the borrowing one. I
Didn't do
I-
it last year.
thought it was
We didn't
exactly,
do it. We didn't do it at annual town meeting last year. That's why.
right. So this is the $20 million.
Right.
This is sewer capital?
Sewer
No, it's
infrastructure.
called sewer
Sewer
infrastructure. That's why I
Oh, okay.
in my head, I switched the two. of them.
Where the hell is this one?
It's
Article.
Article 17.
Article 17 in the most recent warrant. So to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $20 million.
That's community. Weird.
No, the numbers have changed, Bill. Any greater or lesser amount, blah, 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 blah.
Where the hell is it?
All of this came out in red on my copy when I printed it.
Yeah, it does crazy things when we print them out.
No, but it was
Because
easy
I
to see
showed
what
you
was
the-
changed.
Yeah, the track changes.
Yeah,
If you,
this is red.
If you click on the review tab,
Oh,
go to simple
Very
markup
helpful.
instead of all markup. It'll
It highlights in red
that'll
Yeah,
get rid of the red.
You'll see the whole history of it.
Do
Yeah,
you
But anyways,
you might want to hold on this one until Wednesday as well.
Okay.
We're checking with bond counsel on this one on a couple things. And we'll have an answer for you Wednesday night.
So Tony and Allison and everybody, can we make the article more specific that it has to be borrowing through the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust? Because it seems to leave open the possibility. Borrowing.
It says it there on the bottom.
It says included by borrowing any or borrowing all or any portion of this amount.
Through the Mass Clean Water.
Right.
And I think it's all or any portion because we wouldn't be we may not borrow the full 20 million. Is
Right.
that correct?
That's right.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if
Yeah.
it left the option to go with other borrowing besides the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust.
No, and this is recommended language directly from bond council.
Okay, I take it back. Thank you.
And so for your recommendation, though, you might want to look at what we did for special town meeting or what you did for special town meeting, because it would be the same exact, article, obviously just a different amount.
Okay, yeah, the one in September. Okay, September.
So we're gonna
Alright, so-
hold on that one.
Tony, it sounds like your preference is that we hold on this one.
oh, it's 17.
Yeah, I would. My recommendation would be to hold until Wednesday. Let us get our answer from bond counsel.
Okay,
That's 18.
so sewer capital, I'm gonna get myself all confused here. So sewer capital
Is number 18.
is 18. So can I safely just go back here and renumber these as 18? Well, we'll do them one by one. So this is the dump trucks.
And it's a small dump truck and a front end loader.
For
And both are
200 and
using, and it's all free
260.
cash.
Isn't somebody coming from retained earnings as well?
No, all of
Oh.
it's coming from retained earnings.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
It's all
in the
coming
water and
from
sewer
retained
enterprise.
earnings.
All right. Should it say that or no?
It will, I think it will in the motion.
The motion will say it. Mhm.
so if we
We'll write that
want
up.
to entertain a motion on this tonight, meaning a motion to either recommend or not recommend this particular article, you could word it such that our recommendation is subject to the funding coming from where, retained earnings?
Yeah.
Correct.
I've got ownership of that one, so I'll write it up like that.
Okay, but
So I'll
so
make a motion that we should recommend this based on the verbiage being included about saying we'll say retained earnings.
I'll second that.
Retained earnings from water and the sewer enterprise fund.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
second that.
Okay. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
aye,
Sheehan,
Aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye, unanimous.
Aye.
Thank you.
all right, so Article 19, MWRA borrowing. So this is $500,000, and this one is kind of a recurring one, as I remember.
It's basically the one with the 0% interest, I think, right, Tony?
Correct.
Correct.
And it was 500 last year too?
Yeah, and I did it last year, but I'm not doing it this year. Hallelujah.
No, it wasn't 500 last year.
Yeah, it was
Um,
less.
Yeah,
20.
last year I believe it was only 200. 500 is the maximum amount that we can borrow.
Well,
Yeah.
it should
Yeah,
have been
200.
500 last year.
Yeah, it was 200 last year.
Why is it up so much higher?
That's the cap that we're allowed to
Oh,
borrow is 500. We only did 200 last year because we were actually just kind of getting through a water capital project as we were putting the budget together. And we weren't sure if we were going to be able to, jump into a new one right away. So we just did two. I don't think we've used it yet. So we'll actually combine the two together to get a good sized water or many different water projects completed in the upcoming year.
Tony, do these do simple water main breaks and stuff fall under this money?
No, this is preventative projects. This is or not preventative, but
Large
this isn't
capital.
reaction to breaks. This is following the capital plan and doing projects that are required, under that need upgrades.
Okay. I make a motion that we recommend the Article 20, is it?
19.
19, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, we're all confused.
I'll second that. Hey, Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye,
Sheehan,
Aye.
DeHora,
Aye.
Warren,
aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, unanimous, aye.
all right. The old Article The old article what? And the new article what? The old article 21, the
20.
new article 20 is the fire truck. And one thing I noticed in the most recent copy here, the amount is changed to $350,000. So we're either getting half a fire truck or something has changed.
The
Well, this is-
intent was to borrow half and take half out of available funds.
Yeah, so
Ah.
council advised that we only had to put the amount that we're borrowing into the article. And the other 350,000, we're proposing to use ARPA funds for the COVID money that we got from the federal government.
I still think you should put the full amount in.
I
I didn't say how the
do-
money comes. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I said the same thing, but council said that we did not have to.
No,
But I
certainly
think
at a minimum, our recommendation or not recommendation needs to disclose the full amount.
Agreed. And where the money's
Correct.
coming from.
And the
Exactly.
motion
I
will
think-
say that as well, but he said that for the article, it did not need to say that.
I think Chief Antrim's preparing a supporting statement for this too. So he'll explain that in his supporting statement as well.
But one thing to consider is that as we present this article in a warrant, we mail it to the town. People of the town won't know the other part of it, which is where the funds are coming from and how much the total cost is.
No, your recommendation and supporting statements will be included in right in the book that they'll receive. Right underneath each one of these articles will have your recommendation and any supporting statement.
As we get to this, when we had Chief Antrim with us at our meeting, and when Barbara Beatty and I went down to the firehouse to speak to him, it became clear that we have a pumper that's relatively new. We have a ladder truck that functions as a pumper that's relatively new. And the fire truck he hopes to wash out, the prime shortfall of that truck isn't that it's inoperative. In fact, it was in service over the summer as a mainline engine. The shortfall of this unit is that the feedback loop to change the RPMs, to change the water pressure based on demand is inoperative, which means it's basically a one attack hose truck. You can't run multiple attack hoses off of it, but it is the third truck that would be deployed in a town where virtually every residence has a fire hydrant within 300 feet.
So is your
So
point
I-
is that it's just not needed? That we shouldn't
My
recommend
point
it?
is that we have more worthy spending, and the incremental fire safety benefit is not significant.
I mean, did you ask that question? Like, what is the incremental?
I asked that
You know-
exact question.
Okay,
I asked that exact question, and Chief Antrim said the engine works in acceptable fashion when one hose is run off it. The feedback loop that allows the pressure to change, basically the cruise control, it functions like a cruise control on a car, is inoperative, so that if they stop and start the second hose, it causes the first hose to jump in an unsafe manner. But if one hose is running, the thing works, and it's the third one. So there's, to me, a circumstance where we need a third pumper. We have, two already, and we have fire hydrants that are within 300 feet of every dwelling there and 600-foot centers throughout the town. If you stand at the Johnson School, you can count 4 or 5 of them. I see a lot more worthy expenditures of the 375, especially with the crumbling sewer infrastructure. And the initial intent was to borrow the other 375. I hate to leave 375 on the table, but I think we can find other places for that to go.
I mean, to add to that, Dan, those are good points. Thanks for bringing them up. The 350 rather, we're gonna borrow some of that, and then the rest of it's gonna come out of ARPA funds. I'd like to see the article kind of represent that. Not just in the recommendation, but what's really going on.
Yeah, I'm writing that, and I think it's important that if we do vote to recommend it, that our recommendations say that. I would like to note, because Dan and I were both speaking with Chief Antrim at the fire station, is that the other problem with the truck, and another issue for thinking about recommending this now, is that there's some, one, the truck is old. As I recall, it may be 18 years or more old. I don't remember the actual number. I have it in my notes maybe. So it's old. There's also some rust in the front parts of the underneath of the truck. So it's not, the main problem is exactly as Dan described it. That's exactly the main problem. And that's what makes it dangerous. So you can only use one hose, not two. But it's old. And the other point that Chief Antrim made was, because it's old, it's going to cost the town more money. We're going to save the town money if we order this now. It's 2 years before it ever even arrives. It's a very slow process to actually get a truck. And the company that he is ordering it from, that he thinks is a very good company, the price is going to go up for all the reasons that we know. And so and we're going to have to do this because it's just plain an old truck. So so the question that adds another issue in terms of timing.
So it I guess.
It'll save the town money if we do this now.
And don't we have to use the ARPA fund?
And we can use the ARPA funds.
One
So there's
point,
two
the
ways.
ARPA funds can be used up until 2024. Correct me on
Right.
that.
Right.
So they
But
can
it'll
be-
save the town money if we get the order in now, because that's going to go up. Because for all the reasons we know about supply chain and prices and availability. So that's
Barbara,
another.
when do we have to pay for it? If we order it now, when would we have to pay?
I think in phases. I think we don't pay all of it up front. I think we put a deposit down, and we pay off the balance upon delivery.
So we
Do you
wouldn't
know
have
what
to
happens if
process
we
for a while.
decide to back out in midway?
No, it's typical for components like this, where a down payment would be in the 40% range, and then a progress payment or on ship payment, and then some kind of some small withholding. But they don't want to relinquish that truck until they have 90% of their dough, and they're not going to start building it until they have 40% of the cash, because the entity that makes it into a fire truck has to purchase all of the major components.
I mean,
If I can just add one more thing before you vote, something to consider. And I know this is, this is a lot of money, and it's a big capital purchase. The town has 3 trucks at the fire department. We haven't spent any money on a new truck in over a decade. The last 2 trucks that were bought in the last 5 years, I think, were purchased completely through grant funds. So, think about that. I know it's a big expense, but for 3 to have 3 almost 3 brand new trucks in that station and only be actually paying for half of one of them out of our general fund is pretty good for our town.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point, Tony, but I think Dan's fundamental point is, do we need it? And
well, let's
Period.
look at all the other articles we're asking for for issues that we've had deferred maintenance on. We haven't taken care of our sewer system. We're now paying millions for sewer system. We haven't taken care of, you know, other things, and we end up paying more. We have an opportunity to kind of get ahead of the curve, if you might say, you know, by, you know, like to Barbara's point, if we look at this next year, what's the incremental cost, new cost of that truck next year? 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, you know.
It's gonna go up, yep, a lot.
It's gonna go up. And, you know, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here to say that, you know, we have an opportunity here to get in front of it. I'm not, I don't want to sound like I'm advocating for, I'm just adding points towards that recommendation to say, you know what, we have an opportunity to get ahead of something where we're not deferring maintenance for another year. We're not deferring, you know, to Tony's point, we're going to have three relatively new trucks, which should hopefully take us into, you know, I don't know, the next decade. I mean, what happens
as Barbara said too, it's going to take over a year for this to be built and delivered to the town.
Here's what I don't.
So you're going to need it by the time it gets delivered.
So here's what I don't understand. I don't understand why we're debating this now when we should have talked about this during the budget for the fire department. So I mean, really, that was the time and the place.
I thought we did talk about it then.
We did talk about it then.
I thought we talked about it quite thoroughly.
Yeah, with hoses and hydrants, and we had a very detailed discussion. I took notes on that.
Barbara, you said you took notes. You don't recall how old that truck is?
I could go back and try and find it.
I want to say it's about 18 years.
I think 18, that's the number that sticks in my head, 18 years.
But fire apparatus is like DC-3 aircraft or Harley knuckleheads. They run forever.
I get that. At this point though, I make a recommendation that we as a finance committee recommend this.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need, again, I think we need to get in front of it. I agree that we're not going to get the incremental increase, but the 350 ARPA or 375 ARPA money makes it kind of, makes me comfortable with it.
I agree.
Well, we have till 2024 to use the ARPA money. It's not as though we're forfeiting it.
The problem then is that the price will have gone up.
There is a recommendation and a second on the table. So we need to either vote for it or against it.
Okay, Barbara,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
I don't know if I want to, I don't like the way this is written. That's just a little incomplete in the description. I know we can add a recommendation to put that information in there, but.
it will be in the, I believe it's going to be in the motion and in our recommendation.
We're in the middle of a vote.
Right. Can I pass?
Abstain.
No, you either have to abstain or say yes or no.
I'm asking the secretary.
Pardon me?
Can I pass?
Is that an abstain? Or you want me to come back to you at the end?
Come back to me, please.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Nay.
Beatty,
But I do want to say that I understand the complexity here because Dan and I spent a long time and I understand what Dan is saying, but I am going to vote aye.
Brown,
No,
Tarmy, aye. Sheehan,
I'm gonna vote aye.
all right, so that is 7 ayes, 2 noes, motion passes.
Excuse me, can I ask a question here of a general nature, and it reveals my ignorance? But when all of these articles are talking about voting to raise. What, can someone define raise for me?
It's to raise through taxes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so all the general fund is supported by the property tax
That's
revenue.
what I thought. Thank you.
It's like
Okay.
everyone has two sides to it. You're voting to raise the money through taxes, revenue side, and you're voting to spend the money or that you just raised, I guess, the expense side.
Actually, to that point, as far as raised go, would raise also if a, I don't know, if a townsperson wanted to donate $100,000 to the town for the purchase of a fire truck, is that also considered the raising part?
No, that would be to appropriate from other available funds. There would be
Okay.
a donation account. Yeah, so raise is strictly coming from tax
Okay.
revenue. Good thought, though.
Yeah. Give that
All
person
right.
a number.
Article 21, Chapter 90 Highway. This is another kind of recurring one.
So
And
it's a boilerplate.
I think it's boilerplate. I'm just looking
It's-
for.
I
last-
looked at it from last year and it's boilerplate. At least it looked that way to me. I'm
Okay.
writing this one.
And this is just basically to authorize the town to spend the Chapter 90 money that the state appropriates to us.
Right, so it's not
Yep.
a,
It's like okay, so routine article.
I
Anyone
would
want to
move that
make-
we recommend this.
And this is number
So I
21.
second that.
Okay. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zohora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Tarmy, aye. That's unanimous.
And 21.
Okay, so
Community preservation. Oh, geez.
so now wait, so what happens to the order here?
That's now 22 is,
22 is community preservation. We're
Right.
coming back to that one
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. 23 property tax exemptions.
So is this worded differently than in the past?
This is not a reoccurring article.
I don't remember this in the past.
Yeah, this is new from the town assessor, and I'm gonna do the write-up on it. So it's basically to move up some of these exemption amounts in clause 22A through F and 22A, B, C, D, and 41D. So it
Who
doesn't,
fits into these things?
I believe clause 22A through F is disabled veterans, maybe.
Oh,
And the rest of them might be senior clauses.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dana.
Yep. I mean, previous ones had like Article 32 last year was senior deferred property tax interest. Is that any part of this?
that was different.
Separate.
That's on deferred taxes.
How does this affect us? If you're increasing exemptions, obviously it's going to decrease what we're taking in. How does this affect us?
Well,
Allison.
the state of Massachusetts makes up for some of that transfer, so it's not a dollar for dollar reduction in property tax revenue for the town. But
We also have, it's an overlay account that we establish every year that we deduct these abatements and exemptions from. So we have, it's a $180,000 bucket that any abatements and exemptions that the assessor's office approves, it gets deducted from there, not from our tax base.
I mean, this article, it kind of doesn't really describe the whole program very well. It's missing a lot. I don't know if that goes into recommendation or if we can get some more information on it from the town assessor to backfill the detail, or do you guys want to vote on it now, or it's not, I understand, the reservation if we don't see exactly what it is.
Yeah,
The
we don't, I mean,
recommendation, I was wondering if the recommendation will talk about that overlay that you were talking about, Allison. Or at least refer to it.
I would like to
Yeah.
know what the impact of the town is.
yeah,
I also did ask the town assessor for an analysis of, the number of individuals that currently fall under these, and I never heard back. I don't know if Tony has.
No,
Okay.
can we table this one until Wednesday night and have the tax assessor give us that information?
As I recall, she did talk with us about this. And we did ask the question about how many people. And I think it wasn't a very large number of people, but we did discuss it.
It's not a very large amount.
It's not a very large amount, right?
No, I just don't remember.
I don't remember more than that.
It's not a very large amount, and the state reimburses the city for the exemptions, but
Us?
not entirely completely.
I thought we had funded that from an overlay fund. Kind of a reserve overlay fund, no?
Yeah, we don't, sorry, we don't receive 100% reimbursement from the state for these.
It's just what I said.
All right, so what's your pleasure? Hold this one?
I'd vote it now, but I'm just me.
I would
Well,
vote it now.
You can make a motion, Bill.
Possible.
Sorry, do it.
Okay, I make a motion to recommend Article 23 to see
I'll
if the
second
town.
that. I'll second it. Okay, Barba,
I'm gonna abstain.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Sheehan will vote aye, and also in the recommendation, try to add more detail so it's more understandable.
thank
Good,
you.
thank you.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. So that's 8 ayes, 1 abstain.
All right, the next, oh no, wait, so this is not hold for more information, I'm sorry. This gets recommended. All right, if we follow along in order, the new 24 is the old 27, and that is the public safety building study.
Where the hell's that?
It's 24.
Oh,
See if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or blah, 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 a sum of $125,000 for a feasibility study. And this is, the funding source on this one is, this is
ARPA.
ARPA as well?
Is it ARPA?
No,
or-
this is
Yeah.
free
No.
cash.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
free cash, okay.
Does the public need to know, or Tony, are you going to do some education, or how do we let them know that this is part one of that three-phased approach?
There'll be, yeah, so I will be doing public meetings leading up to town meeting. There'll be a supporting statement added to this one as well, where it'll explain those different phases in it as well.
Perfect.
And I'm looking for the quote, the scope, so I can, I don't know if I ever got that to you, so I'm looking for it right now in my email so I can forward it over to you all.
Yeah. And that would be good, good stuff to put in our recommendation as well.
Yeah, and Dan and I are writing this, and one of the things I was wondering is whether you think in this moment, when we put it up to look at, whether or not you think it's a good idea to mention that this is voting specifically for this study. It's not voting for anything else. Anything else would have to come up to vote at successive other town meetings or not. But this is a very specific, just for this study. Should that go into the recommendation if we vote to approve it?
I would think so, yeah.
I would think so.
Yes, I think you're spot on, Barbara. I don't think the warrant article is entirely clear as to what the cash is for, and I think it's a good spend, and we want to encourage it, and we want to clarify it so that the folks, can grasp it.
That it's a one-time for this study,
Yes, and that it's a study only, as you said.
right?
Yeah,
But the
this
Tony
is-
will,
Could I add something? This
Sure.
would also, the phase one would be helpful in the town applying for grants to get the additional funding for the potential outcome. So if they have a phase one study, they can go for state and federal grants to help fund any buildings that come out of this.
I also think that one of the aspects that's so confusing about this feasibility study is that it has to include alternatives and permutations of these different alternatives. And I think that's good information for people to know. It's going to talk about various alternative plans, not just have sort of focus on one, or maybe just the word alternative.
Deborah, one thing to add to what you just said, that there was a study done in 2016. I guess it wasn't a full up phase one study, but it was a preliminary study that whoever does this work can build off of, because some of the work's already been done. The study work,
Was that in 2017?
16.
16. Okay.
Tony, you're going to explain the phases, or there's going to be something.
Yes,
Right.
yes, like I said, it'll be in the supporting statement. I'll explain it in, my public meetings as well.
So when we
And-
refer to this being for phase one, that's what this is for.
Correct.
And
Phase
then
one for grants, so that we can apply for grant, the town can
Right,
apply.
that's
for grants.
important. That's very important.
Phase one, so for your notes, for when you put your recommendation together, what was done in the past was more of like a kind of the first step of a needs assessment. Phase one is a feasibility study. Phase two would be a schematic design, and phase three would be construction.
That smells good.
And each of those phases would be presented to the town for approval before proceeding.
Correct.
Where does your supporting statement happen, Tony?
So you probably recall the FinCom books that you've received in the mail in the past.
Yeah.
And when you open right in the beginning of the book is the warrant.
Okay.
And under each article will be your recommendation. And then under that will be any supporting statements.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm right here, this Article 41 on the screen, citizens
Okay.
petition wetlands, our recommendation, which was no recommendation, and then it's followed in italics there by the supporting statement from the petitioner.
My goal is to have that back to you by Wednesday. At least as far as possible, so this way you guys can see it. And then whatever the final document looks like in the final book, we'll send those over to you guys. You know, I'm sure there'll be final touches added to it Thursday, Friday morning, and you know, maybe I'll just be in touch with the chairman and on you know, hit and print, basically.
So are you saying that we should vote on this now, or that we need more information, or hold, I don't quite understand, Tony.
I was, that's up to you. I just sent
Okay,
over
yeah.
in your email, I just sent you the feasibility study quote that we got. I was just simply saying that I hope to have those, all the supporting statements, you know, inputted into the warrant so you can see it, see how it's gonna look and read them by Wednesday.
But the motion wording, because that's what the Board of Selectmen, that's not going to change, correct?
The motions don't get added into the FinCom
Right.
book.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we should go ahead and do our recommendation tonight.
All right, so does anyone want to make a motion on this one?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Sheehan votes aye. We're not borrowing to do it, so.
Zohora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
I,
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye. That's unanimous.
All right, the next one is call firefighter reserve police retirement something. Whoop, let me go this way. So that's this call firefighters to see if the town will accept mass general laws, blah, 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 blah. Retaining call firefighters participation in state employment retirement system.
So this doesn't cost the town any funds. It basically allows for call firemen who are enrolled in the state retirement system to use years of service as a call fireman towards their retirement. We already allow for reserve police officers to do this.
and my recollection from talking with Chief Antrim is that another reason for doing this is that we tend sometimes to lose call firefighters when they come up to be whatever, full, whatever it is. And so that this would be another way of trying to keep people who've been with us, who in a sense we've been helping to train. And so this is part of that. It adds to that system, it augments it, it makes it stronger. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. I think it's an added incentive for
Exactly.
folks to remain, to either get involved in our call fire system or remain in it.
Or to stay, to remain in. That's what I understood. Good, thank you. So I would, if unless there's other discussion, I would move that we recommend this.
Before it's seconded, how much will this cost the town?
Nothing.
No problem.
Nothing.
It's
Okay,
just, it just allows them to use their years of service towards their state retirement system, towards the state retirement system.
Okay,
Tony, just a question. I support the measure, but why is this even before us? It seems like something for the great and general court.
We're accepting the state law. The town is required to actually vote to accept the law in order for our call firemen to be eligible to do this. So is that what you meant? Does that answer your question?
Yes, I mean, obviously we'd want to give our guys the advantage any other guy had. It just seems odd that it's not part of the state legislation. And that we
Yeah, I
have any
don't,
say.
yeah, basically the state retirement board requires proof that the town has accepted this chapter, this section and chapter of the law, of the state law, in order for local years of service to be eligible for the state retirement board. So for some reason, they require the town to actually accept the chapter of law.
Great, I call the question. We should rubber stamp it.
So we had a motion by Barbara. Are you seconding, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Barbara,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Ian says aye.
Lahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown. Brown,
You still there?
Muted, yes, aye.
thank you. Tarmy, aye. It's unanimous.
All right, Article 26, the dog bylaw was the old Article 28. And this is the one where we're cleaning up the description of Doggy Beach and the fines.
We are,
And
there were, the old law had two different fine structures, so we're combining them into one. We're increasing the fines and we're defining Doggy Beach.
I had the
How
write-up.
are, how are we, I'm sorry, how are we defining Doggy Beach?
Basically saying that it ends prior to the residential homes on Castle Road.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's
The-
one,
the-
go ahead. Go ahead, Tim.
Those properties arguably own out to mean low tide watermark anyways. And there's been a lot of confusion, as far as whether that's part of the town beach or not. And it'd be better to have just a definition of the bounds.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. That's,
I'd like to make a motion to recommend this.
I'll
Can
second
I
that.
just think, what do I do? This was the one that I wrote the recommendation for. There needs to be a copy edit in the article itself. A word like the word on needs to be deleted to have the sentence be correct. How do we go
Okay.
about doing that?
I can correct it on my end and have the board approve that. Where's the,
Where in particular, Deborah?
It says in the second line of the first paragraph there, it says, unless, wait a minute, maybe they fixed it. Oh no, it's fixed in this. I don't have it. I have a 2 days older than this copy, so it's fixed, sorry.
all right.
So who seconded that?
I would.
Okay. Barbara,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
This question, is it not final now or
it's final.
it's final? Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Zahora,
aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Tarmy, aye, unanimous.
Okay, the next one, I think is this one ZBA membership,
Who?
planning board.
That's right.
Why do we have it as ZBA membership, but
It is. It's
it
the,
is?
yeah, so the town charter, I know a little bit about this one. The town charter says that we have a 3-member zoning board of appeals. However, the zoning board of appeals has been operating as long as I can remember. I believe I was on the zoning board for roughly 12 years, and we have always worked with a 5-member board. So if I'm not mistaken, this article is to clean that up and actually change our charter to read 5 members. Is that correct, Tony?
Yep.
Correct.
And I can tell you as somebody who was on the zoning board for, as I said, a number of years, having 5 members is really helpful. It just allows for a lot of discussion and a lot of input and a lot of knowledge from the different members, different neighborhoods. So I would strongly recommend this. I'll make a motion that we recommend.
Second,
Barba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye, but may I note that the word zoning, I think, should be in the article. It just says Board of Appeals. Is it possible to add? Or do I have to do another amendment? I don't, it's during the vote, I'm sorry. See, it doesn't say zoning anywhere in there.
The town charter actually refers to it as the Board of Appeals. That's why we wrote it that way.
Okay,
Brown eye.
I said aye, yeah. Thank you.
unanimous.
Who's writing the recommendation on that?
Looks like Vanderslice.
I am. So in the recommendation, I will clarify that the Board of Appeals means what we typically call the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Thank you. That'd be very helpful. Great.
Also, you might want to add something in there that because it's a charter change, if it passes at town meeting, it will then be on the ballot next annual town election, April of next year.
Okay.
And it has to go to a town vote after that.
Tony, we couldn't put that to election first because of the way that we do our election, just to try and have that out of the way.
I had asked that question, and according to council, it has to get the town meeting vote first.
Okay.
I thought it didn't matter. And honestly, I never double checked after I asked them.
I was on the board for a while, and I just know that having 5 members would be, is just very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, next. It's Board of Appeals, so stormwater bylaw.
Yeah, that's mine.
I
Tony, you're
just forwarded that to all of you as well, in case it hadn't been sent over to you yet. But the track changes version, which is quite long, will be an appendix in your book, and it's available at the clerk's office and online. And there's a little summary in the email that I sent you.
All right, is this one that we want to hold till everybody's digested it? Or Peter, I'm kind of looking, what do you think here?
Well, it seems to be a compliance issue.
Yeah, it's a compliance issue. We got to comply with the latest MS4 general permit. And I mean, if you read I'll read real quick the first section. Granted, there's it's a draft, but the purpose of this bylaw is to safeguard the health, safety, and welfare of the general public and protect the natural resources of the town of Nahant, including water bodies and groundwater, by controlling the runoff, preventing soil erosion and sedimentation resulting in site construction and development. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. I mean, it's putting us in compliance, and it's good. I mean, you know, anytime somebody does some sort of construction, if they're not paying attention or they do things a little, you know, I don't know, the wrong way, unfortunately, that groundwater or that, you know, water runoff can affect entire neighborhoods.
Right, and the way that this is written, it's anything that impacts 600 square feet up to an acre, you have an administrative check included in your building permit. That's handled by the Concom. So it doesn't have to go to a hearing. It doesn't have to go to, it's not a long process. It's fairly straightforward. And we went with 600 square feet, which is, you know, a 20 by 30 foot size addition, pretty significant, you know, but also not so low that it's being triggered by smaller types of construction.
I mean, I'd like to make a motion that we recommend this.
Second,
Arba,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan, Sheehan,
Abstain.
Zahora,
aye.
Warren, sorry, Deborah,
Oh, aye, I'm sorry, aye.
McNacken,
McMacken, and I.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
No,
Charmy, aye. So that's 7 aye, 1 abstain, 1 no.
Okay, and we recommended the dog bylaw, yes?
yes,
Yes,
I just didn't, yeah, okay. We're almost there, almost. So, oh, okay, climate change preparedness. All right, so 29 is climate change, 30 is lowlands drainage. All right, got it. So this is 29. This is $500,000. And those are still 30 and 31. Okay, good. So I don't know. Does anyone want to speak to or discuss? Or you all want to stop? All right,
Tony has some good points on this. I think the gist of it is we need this to be able to capture a lot of available funding and grants, and it's not directly earmarked at this point. And the selectmen would be keeping a hand on the throttle of it.
Right, this, yeah, this is the one, exactly. This is the one that having the authorization makes
Helps us
it,
get grants. Yeah.
yeah, helps us get grants. But there aren't any immediate plan, just Tony, jump on me if I misstate this. There aren't any immediate plans to go out and spend $500,000. That's
Correct. I will say that we are applying for a $3.5 million project or grant in July that we've been working very closely with MEMA on, and the match of that grant application is 10%. So if this passes, we would have, you know, the 10% would be about 350,000. You know, this would cover that, and it would, you know, make us more competitive in that grant application. There's a lot of funds through ARPA, federal ARPA funds. There's a lot of availability for grants coming up for climate change in the upcoming fiscal year.
all right. And is it okay if we mention specifically that $3.5 million opportunity in our recommendation?
I'd be comfortable with that.
Is that the Dune project?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be comfortable with that if you should state it in a way of, for example, one of the
Not
upcoming
guaranteeing it.
grant. Yeah, I don't want people to vote on this based on, their feeling about the height of the dune. I don't know if people would be against it because of whatever reasons. So use it as like a part of your recommendation as an example as to what this could be used for.
And Tony, it doesn't mean we'd get it either, right? I mean, it's just
Correct.
something we could use the 500,000 for to go after grants like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna automatically get it.
We're applying for a CZM grant too, for 40 steps that we could
What's it-
use, which I think will also be a 10% match, and we could use this money for that too.
Can we see the article again, please?
That one.
See, it's raised by borrowing 500,000 or any other sums of money.
That means it needs to be approved by 2/3, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Tony, are we looking to borrow this, or are we looking like using ARPA money or?
This would be for borrowing, but we're not
Okay.
gonna, it's just authorization. We're not gonna borrow it. Unless,
Something comes
we
up.
need it. Yeah, right. Well, but we're gonna use the authorization if passed as a point in our application for grants.
So if you could help me with that wording, Tony, that would be very helpful, because I could see saying something along the lines of, we recommend this as an opportunity, to provide us the opportunity to apply. We do not anticipate the actual borrowing.
I don't know if I would say we don't anticipate the actual borrowing.
Well,
More borrowing we would only borrow if appropriate projects and grants came before us. It
right,
allows
but we're
us to
not
be
going
prepared.
Right, I get that. I just, if I was sitting in the audience, I'd say, well, who determines appropriate?
Couldn't you just say as yet unforeseen or something like that? Future somethings.
I get your point, Judy. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to think of a way to.
We can wait until Wednesday on this one.
I'll
That gives you a
probably-
couple days to be brilliant.
I'll probably put a supporting statement together for this one, so I'll explain it in that.
Hey, Tony, one other question on this one too. In the language says, or any other sum of money, 500,000 or any other sum of money.
Yeah, I find that uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that either.
That's standard. That's standard legal, like general counsel, bond counsel.
Jargon.
And it doesn't mean I can turn 500 into 600, or, it's mostly like, it's within a couple dollars, I don't know, Allison, if you want to jump in, but it's not like a blank check. It's like, basically, if you're somewhere relatively close to 500.
It sounds blank checky.
It's what bond counsel.
I'm not a lawyer, but it's a term of art.
Yeah, this is recommended language by bond counsel for all borrowing articles. I don't really understand the purpose of it, but it's not to authorize just a willy-nilly amount.
Is there a like a book someplace that is like recommended legal jargon for a town meeting?
You have to pay extra for that.
I mean, maybe we should write one.
Yeah. That's in the graduate level course.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
the
I think it's
articles
like
and
if
the
you end up
motions,
being, if it ends up being like $505, it doesn't, they write that so that you don't have to go back to town meeting for another $5. It's not, you can't turn that into, 20,000 more, 30,000 more. Bond council won't approve it if it's not within a certain amount of the dollar amount approved by town meeting.
I
Okay.
don't remember this in the Finance Committee handbook, but that might be a place to look. All right. What's our pleasure on this one? Do we want to vote it tonight? And if so, we need a motion, or are we going to hold it for?
If Tony's going to come from some more words, I prefer to hold it for more words, but I mean, it's not going to make a difference.
I'd move to approve. I think it's clear we don't want to leave money on the table, and we have a methodology of our town leadership to control the spend, and it just frees their hands to operate in the best interest of the town.
Well said.
I will second that.
Aye.
Barbara? Vanderslice?
Aye.
Sheehan?
Okay, I'm trying to get more comfortable with it, so I'm just gonna vote aye.
Joel?
Aye.
Warren?
Aye.
McMacken?
Aye.
Beatty?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Carmy? Aye. Unanimous.
Gonzalez?
No. Almost there. We have three more. One is continued committees, which I
Two.
don't think we recommend. So we have two that go kind of together.
Yeah. Also mine. So, I mean,
Gonzalez.
so the town stormwater improvement, is that the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So this is basically, I mean, and Tony, you can jump in and help, but this is basically, the town's plan to look at stormwater improvements. I'm going to say mostly for, if not all, for the lowlands neighborhood, but there's also kind of looking at other areas. The engineering company would be looking at other areas to improve, stormwater
Article 30.
overall.
No, well, then what's the DPW infrastructure capital for lowlands drainage? Is sound the same?
Yeah.
No, that's a citizen.
petition.
That's a
Yeah.
citizen petition, and
Oh,
yeah, that's the
that's-
next article. Yeah.
But
So-
that's what I mean. They kind of go together.
Well, they
And-
go together and probably not, but so the first one is a proposal to look at stormwater improvements. As I said, a lot of it would be for the lowlands area, but it's a kind of an overall engineering appraisal and work to improve our how we handle stormwater. Tony, I don't know if you want to kick in.
Improvements that are going to provide stormwater relief value to the lowlands. They can, provide value to other areas of town too, but the focus of this is to make improvements on stormwater drainage issues in the lowlands area.
So this is a case where I think that maybe a little more information to the town in the article about how we have a firm right now that's going to do a study on the drainage issues in town and how this is all affected by the lowlands drainage, et cetera. Maybe in an appendix or in the article itself. Is that something that can be added?
Definitely.
You have slides,
Definitely in the
right, Tony?
appendix. Yeah,
This is-
but
But this is more than a study, right? This is actually doing stuff.
Right.
No.
No,
No,
No, this
No, this is a study.
money, no, you're right, Barbara. This money would be used to make improvements that would be recommended from the study. The study is currently underway, being paid for out of last year's.
That's right. And we
Right.
just don't have the, right, exactly. And we probably aren't going to have it in time for town meeting. Right?
Correct, but this money wouldn't even be, this money wouldn't be available until July 1st. We're looking at a June, July final draft of the study. So we'll be able to jump right into programming some of those recommendations.
Right. Thank you.
Tony, where are you going to address, I think you said somewhere you were going to address the intersection, the unhappy kind of intersection of this one with the citizens petition. Where were you going to talk about that?
In my supporting statement and in my at town meeting and in
Okay.
public sessions. I will put something in there that says, you know, we're supportive of Article 30, oppose Article 31 simply because of the language, the way that it is restrictive. So Article 30 does not preclude the efforts that 31 is trying to accomplish, but it's presented in a way that allows for us to, you know, see what it gives us wiggle room and program the recommendations from the engineer.
The Article 30, Article 31 is restrictive and it's specific. It basically says that, you know, we would appropriate up to $400,000 to do
500.
specific. I think it says 400 in
400, you're right.
400 to repair and improve drainage in the lowlands by repairing an existing storm drain and installing a permanent fixed pump. But that may or may not be the whole entirety of what the engineers find. Some of that you may not legally be able to pump stormwater with a permanently affixed pump back into the ocean. There's
Are we on
permitting issues.
31?
We're talking about both of them
Go back and
essentially.
forth.
I mean, you know, I guess to clear things up, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Article 30, just based on the fact that it's comprehensive in its attempts to help and remediate the stormwater flooding of the lowlands.
Second.
But hold on, it's already been seconded. I'd kind of like to see the final language in a little more detail from Tony before I vote on it. But motions have made and seconded, so.
You mean my supporting statement, Dana?
Yeah, I mean, a little more descriptive of what exactly this is. I know what it is, but it's just like, as
Well-
it's written, it's unclear.
Yeah, but Dana, we voted $100,000 last year for an engineering study, which is in progress. The engineers are going to come back and say, you know, to improve your stormwater in the lowlands area, you need to do A, B, C, D, and E. And at this point, we have zero funding to do any of that. And this article is appropriating, monies to do that.
I understand that, just like the way it's written, it doesn't make that connection, Peter, as an article in the warrant, so.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, Dana. In my supporting statement, I will describe a little bit more specifically what the engineer is studying.
Yeah, Tony, I mean, I'm ready to support this as long as, I just
I
think
know.
the language is what I'm talking about, certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
Mike could put it in
understand.
my recommendation as well, Dana. I mean, that's, to try and clarify that last year, we approved money for a study. That study will be completed, somewhere around July. And this money is to begin work to improve and take the engineers' proposals to the next step.
Yeah, I'm also gonna mention in there that, I'm gonna mention in there that this is the lowlands area, the end of Ward Road, is two critical assets of infrastructure in the main the sewer pump station and National Grid's electrical substation, so that these efforts aren't just to solve, wet basements. It's not just a residential issue. So I'll include that in my supporting statement as well.
I could also put it in the recommendation, Tony.
So roll
Okay.
call,
Barba, aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
I vote aye pending the changes we've talked about.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
I,
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
No,
Carmy. So that's 8 ayes, 1 no.
All right. And did we have a second on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
Go ahead, Peter.
so Article 31, as I was stating earlier, is kind of a more specific attempt to do what the neighbors believe, and they do have I believe, a report from the Army Corps of Engineers, at least related to the drainage pipe. But again, we're not even sure that we would be able to open that pipe and pump that water. That stormwater. There may be special permits required. However, if Article 30 doesn't pass, we really need to, one, try and attempt to help the neighbors in that area. And as Tony just said, we have critical infrastructure in that area. My thought on this would be to have no recommendation based on, we would recommend, I don't know if there's even a way to say, we would recommend if Article 30 failed.
but isn't it a citizen's petition and the FinCom doesn't make any recommendations on citizens petitions, Bob?
Not anymore. No, that was an urban legend. We couldn't find anything that documented that we did that, and we decided against that probably last fall.
Oh, okay. I thought that was not in the, okay.
Yeah, it's been going back and forth, but we did look around a lot, and urban
Yeah.
myth, I guess, is a good way to put it, Judy.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, the citizens petition, there was no recommendation
Correct.
based on the understanding that the petitioners were going to withdraw it
Well,
If-
in this case, I don't
in
think
favor
that-
of,
Yeah, I think the petitioners would not, in this case, I did have first of all, let me first start by saying I did invite Christine Licio, or the Licios tonight. They're the sponsors of this warrant article. And unfortunately, they were getting ready to travel or traveling and were not able to make it. I did explain to Christine that, we do have the prior article, and that what may occur is similar to what happened last year, where, if Article 31 passes, then, I didn't know the article numbers, but if the article that the town puts forth passes, then, would there be a need for a second, and would they withdraw? And she was unsure because, again, in their article, they're asking for two specific items one which is opening, restoring or fixing the drainage pipe that leads from the lowlands to, basically the beach, or the beach at Castle Road.
Is that the pipe that was blocked by
By a seawall.
a seawall?
Yeah. And then the other thing was that they were looking for the installation of a permanent fixed pump that would basically pump all of this stuff. Now, I think that the town DPW does a pretty good job of getting pumps to where they need to be. And I think the neighborhood is concerned that they could be slighted if there was an issue. Again, to Tony's point earlier, that we have two major pieces of infrastructure. I mean, if that pump station at Castle Road basically gets washed out in a flood, we're going to be pretty deep in, stuff that we want to get rid of. So I'm not really sure. As I said, I would love to be able to recommend this if Article 30 doesn't pass, but I don't know how you do that.
Well, I don't think that we can, Peter. I look at each article as a freestanding article, and 31 has unknowns, no engineering, no RFQs. It's a WAG, and we're not even certain if it's legal. So it becomes, if 30, I think we need to let each measure stand on its own. And 30 is a reasonable engineering approach, taking us in a positive trajectory. 31 will put us into the land of the unknown with approved monies to be spent on what? There's no drawings, there's no plan, there's no RFQ, there's no engineering study. It's a WAG.
Right.
I think that if this is approved, it's going to be, something that we may swiftly regret. Something that is of limited control when you read the specific language of the article. So I think we just kill that and vigorously support 30.
Yeah, and 31 may find you in legal trouble or legal battle.
Yeah, that money can be
Open
spent on
that thing up.
lawyers instead of engineers.
Well, I mean, I don't know, when it comes to, I mean, the pipe is essentially closed, and it was closed. I don't want to use the term illegally, but it was essentially closed due to the construction of a seawall. I mean, it's,
Yes.
to me, it's if somebody decided to, if the neighbor behind me sewer line traverses through my yard, if I decided I wanted to cut off his sewer line, at some point, does he have a right to be able to reopen that sewer line?
I was under the impression that you actually did that.
The town actually inadvertently did it, and I accidentally did it with a backhoe. But
Peter,
Yeah.
call Digs 1-800-DIG
dig
safe.
safe. Yes, I know,
Can we,
which I did.
Can we recommend or not recommend a citizen's petition?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like one can not recommend.
Yeah.
Recommendation.
I'd go with.
I would give it
I'd
no
go with
recommend. I feel no recommendation.
I recommend that we go with no recommendation.
Make a motion.
So moved.
I'll second it. Thank you, Dana.
Okay. Barba,
Yep.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
Zahora,
Aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
No,
Charmy, aye. That's 8-1, 8 ayes. 1 no. For no recommendation.
All right, last one.
That was the last, well, that was the last one, right?
No,
Well, continue
No,
committees.
continuing education.
I
Continuing
make a motion
committees.
that we vote to recommend to continue committee.
Second,
okay,
The
Barbara,
only discussion
Aye.
with them is, hold on, the only
Okay.
discussion with that is, do we know what those committees are?
yes.
yes.
Okay, in that case,
Okay, Barbara,
Aye.
Vanderslice,
Aye.
Sheehan,
Aye.
DeHora,
aye.
Warren,
Aye.
McMacken,
Aye.
Beatty,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Carmy, aye, that's unanimous.
I have 2 questions. Have the town audits been done and do we know them? And when is the next meeting?
The next meeting is Wednesday night.
Town audits, the last year's, if you want a copy of that, we have them. This year's, we haven't gotten the final of the one that they just were in the process of putting together.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So quick.
I move to adjourn.
No,
No,
Bill,
no.
hang on to it before.
Yeah, not
You
yet,
didn't
'cause-
even let me say, before you make your motion to it, a couple of things. We still have a few articles, actually, first thing, awesome work. Good to get through all this. We have a couple coming up for Wednesday night, which will be the next meeting. I'm going to post a meeting for Thursday just in case. If you could come to Wednesday's meeting with the write-up for your articles, that would be really helpful.
Do you want us to paste them into some document so everyone can see them? That was what my question was going to be.
If you could throw them out into that Dropbox.
I can't. I won't be able to. What I can do maybe is email them to either you or Dan or somebody, Bob.
Yeah. So email them.
You can email them to me if you want.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Yeah, and copy me just in case.
Right, and Peter, you'll send me the link again, thank you very much, and, but also the letter that you drafted, Peter, was good.
What letter? You mean
I'm
mean
sorry,
Bob?
That was
Bob
good.
sent me-
Yeah, so
sorry,
I was just gonna ask if you can look that over. And Julie made some improvements to it, serious improvements to it. So look at Julie's version of it and look at it in two lights. One, are the topics right? Are we addressing the things we really want to address? I was intentionally being brief and to the point in this one. And then, as always, wording and tone, and is it clear, and does it the grammar correct, the spelling correct, and all the rest of that. And we can talk about that at the next meeting. Is there anyone from the public still here for our public forum?
The only person we had was.
We have
Nick
Josh. Josh has joined us.
Oh, okay.
No comments.
Okay. Then
Bob, can you send this out, this list, just so we know what we have and what
yes,
we're working with? Cool.
I will send it out.
Still waiting.
Wait,
Ho ho!
do I feel something freezing over here? What?
Ho ho ho!
All right. I think we need a motion to adjourn.
You have it.
Seconded.
Seconded.
So moved.
Barbara, aye.
Unanimous eyes. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all. Good night.
Good
Take care.
night.
Thank you.
Nothing personal, Bob.
I know, I get it. Guilty as charged.
Bye.